Some mornings don't bring new beginnings. They finish the ones we left behind. My name is Nora, and I hadn't seen Ava in 6 years. The last time, we were teenagers standing by this same lake, swearing we'd come back when life felt less complicated. Life, of course, didn't listen. Now we were here again, backpacks dropped on wet grass, breath clouding in the sharp alpine air. The world was silent except for the rustle of wind through pine trees and the faint ripple of the water, still half dreaming under the early light. Eva smiled as she looked out at it, that same smile that used to undo me when we were 15 and too shy to admit why. "It's smaller than I remember," she said. "Maybe we got bigger," I answered. She turned, grinning. "You still sound like you write postcards instead of talking." We both laughed, and it felt too easy, like the years between us had been erased, not lived. The sunrise was only beginning to spill over the peaks, staining the mist in pale gold. Eva knelt to touch the water, flinching. "Still freezing." "Perfect," I said, already pulling off my sweater. Her eyes flicked toward me, a quick, familiar glance. Then she laughed nervously. "You're insane." "Maybe," I said, "but so are you, if you came back here with me." She hesitated, then began to undress too, the morning light catching her skin, the air turning to steam where our breaths met. We waded in together, gasping at the cold, the shock of it like waking up twice. The lake reflected us, two moving shapes in silver water, half real, half memory. When we reached the center, she stopped, treading water. "I used to think this place was endless," she whispered. "It was," I said. "We just didn't know how far we'd swim." The mist thickened around us, and for a moment, it felt like we were alone in the world. No sound, no distance, no years, just breath and light and water, carrying everything we never said. She looked at me then, really looked, and I saw the same question she'd asked once with her eyes and never dared to speak aloud. And I knew, without either of us saying it, that the morning had brought us back not for the hike, but for the words that had been waiting beneath the surface all this time. The water bit at our skin, the cold sharp enough to feel clean. Mist drifted over the surface, curling around us like breath made visible. The mountains behind were still dark, but the first sunlight slid over their edges, brushing gold against Eva's shoulders. "You remember what you said last time?" she asked suddenly. "I said a lot of things I didn't mean," I answered. "No," she said quietly. "You said you'd never forget me." The words hung there, trembling on the water. I laughed softly, not to mock her, but to hide how much it stung. "I didn't," I said. "I just stopped knowing who you were." She looked away, eyes glinting under the pale sky. "You left without saying goodbye. I thought it would hurt less if I didn't watch you stay." For a moment, neither of us moved. The lake was perfectly still, as if even it didn't want to interrupt. Then Ava swam a little closer, water sliding between us like glass. "You always do that," she said. "What?" "Pretend you're somewhere else when you're right here." Her tone wasn't angry. It was soft, like someone who's already forgiven you for something you haven't confessed. I wanted to speak, but the words felt heavy, wet, useless. So I reached out instead, brushing a strand of hair from her face. My fingers trembled, her breath hitched. The world went quieter. "I used to think it was just friendship," she whispered. "But I don't think I was ever that kind of brave." "Maybe we both weren't," I said. The sun broke through the mist then, scattering light across the water, blinding, beautiful, cruel. The lake turned gold around us, and everything felt suspended, too bright to last. Her hand found mine under the surface, hesitant but certain. So what do we do now? She asked. Nothing, I said. Just stop pretending we forgot. We stayed like that, floating, breathing, hearts pounding in sync with the soft rhythm of the water. When we finally swam back to shore, our bodies were shaking, but not from the cold. On the bank, we wrapped ourselves in towels, sitting close, our shoulders barely touching. The sun climbed higher, the mist faded, the world returned, but slower, gentler. Ava looked at me and smiled. Feels like we never left. I nodded, watching our reflections tremble on the water's surface. Maybe we never did.